Good morning everybody, and once again welcome back to the channel. Today's video I would love to teach you the concept of asynchronous callback pattern and step functions. So step function allows you to orchestrate your workflow, complex task. You can break it down into multiple sub tasks, right? And you can see the entire workflow and you can orchestrate that. Now, asynchronous callback pattern on the other side is a way in which when you submit a task, right, the job is being worked, the step function will pause the execution until then. Now, once the job is complete, the worker has to reply back with either success or fail, and the step function will resume its execution, and then depending upon the response, it will go to either success or fail state. This is absolutely great when you're submitting jobs and you need to, based on the job, you want to update your audit table. So, for example, when you submit a job, you put an entry, right, and you mark the job as pending or running, right? And once the job is succeeded, you change the status, or once the job is failed, you modify the status. So, it's great for auditing purposes, right? So, this pattern is really, really important, right? So now I want to show you, how you can use your step function to submit a Spark job to your EMR cluster and orchestrate that. And depending upon the response, success or fail, the step function will resume and go into either of its states. So let's take a look at that. So while I have my EMR cluster being provisioned, I would love to show you the step function. So if you see my screen, here you can see I have EMR run step, right? And depending upon whether it's a success or fail, it will either go to success or a fail state, right? Now the code to do that, if I can probably zoom in here on this side, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah. So add EMR step, the type is gonna be task over here. The resource is gonna be on.aws.states elastic map reduce add step dot sync. Now this is what will do the async callback pattern, and you can ask ChatGPT, like, what does this particular do, right? So look, waits for the step to complete. The dot sync suffix in the ARN indicates that the step function will pause the execution until the step function finishes running on the EMR cluster. This means that the state machine will only proceed to the next step after the EMR step either succeed or fail. So now that you have read that particular definition or explanation, now let's see this in action, right? Because that's how we learn better, right? So for that, I provisioned a quick EMR cluster on my machine, on my personal AWS account. As you can see, it's in the waiting state, meaning it's ready. That's the cluster, and then here is the step function, right? So the cluster ID, the name of the step, Spark submit, deploy mode is cluster, and this is the Spark job, which is on S3. It's a sample job, again, doesn't really matter. The important thing is to see whether the job succeed or fail, and depending upon that, it should transition that into the particular state. So on the right hand side, I have my EMR step, I don't have anything, and on the left hand side, I do have my step function. So I click on start execution, and here you can see the job is now running. My step function is running. And here you can also see it did submit the particular step. As you can see, it is in the pending state. Now, depending upon this job, right, whether this job fails, if it fails, it should go to the fail state. And if it passes, it should go to the success state, right? And this is also a great way where if you want to have an audit table, right? So as soon as you submit the job, you write the job into some sort of a table and mark the job as, pending. Once the job complete, you mark it as success. If it fails, you mark it as fail. So now you can see when the job ran, how long it ran, how many times you are running the job in a particular day, in a month. You could derive those stats out of it, right? So anyway, but focusing here. So now, as you can see, the job is in the running state, and the EMR, the step function has paused the execution at this point, right? Once this job is complete, which is a hello world job, whether it succeed or fail, we should see that particular transition. So let's wait. Now the job is complete, as you can see. Now the step function should resume its execution, and we should see this particular transition very soon. Ideally, I've seen that there is about 60 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes. Oh, perfect. So as you can see, right, it just changed it, right? So that's it, right? So I hope this explanation makes sense. I hope this demo help you to learn that particular concept, right? And if you have any other questions, do let me know. I will try my best to answer that. I will try my best to make it easier for you. With that being said, keep smiling, keep programming, and I'll see you in the next video.